Were you allowed to call the police?
No. You have to. They give you some paper to sign, and I don't see even it written. When they give you paper, I told it's too long to read, and they're going to explain you. One thing, you cannot sue the shelter. You cannot call police without permission. So many things, but I remember one of the things they told us that I don't see if it's ever anywhere written, but they've even told you're not allowed to call police without our permission, and you are not allowed to sue the shelter. You sign for it. They make us sign. That's what they told us.
When you go into the shelter, are you asked to sign some documents?
Yeah. But
Okay.
they don't give you read proper, they explain you. They told we don't have time for you to go through that. You sign in for that, and that. And it's children screaming, so many women faster do it. So you just, they told it's form for everyone to sign. Once I told them I need a translator, because someone told me, and 24 hours to think before I sign. They told me go on streets and come back within 24 hours with a translator.
Did you feel like you had to sign that?
They force you, don't give you to read. And when you start reading, they told you, okay. And then other women start screaming, how long you going to read? You know, the line waiting for you. And you just, I have to sign. Because you have to sign.
So when you signed these documents,
I don't know what is even there.
So did you understand what was in those documents
Not
fully?
at all. And they don't translate you and don't give you time to think.
Okay.
They told me it's a normal procedure, everyone sign it.
Did they give you a copy of those documents after you signed them?
Not exactly.
Okay. What do you mean by exactly?
Some shelters give, some no. That all is confidential paper, you can't take it. Or if they give you, but before you leave it, you have to give it back, that all is confidential paper, you can't keep the copy. And even when you go out, they're told when you go out you're not allowed to take it with you because you're not allowed to take copies, so they don't give you a copy. They just give it to you, but every time you leave shelter you have to leave it, I remember in Aurora I think, you have to leave it at the counter, you're not allowed to take it out when you leave in the shelter. Because that all is a confidential policy.
So are you saying that each time you walk out the door you had to hand this?
Yeah, you're not allowed to take that paper out.
So you had to actually hand that paper back to
yeah,
the staff?
and sometimes they're saying you, like, for what you're going to, and sometimes I'm not allowed to take it out, well, I don't have time to read, I'm busy with my kids. And sometimes they are just, you just sign and you are so busy because someone pushing this women, yelling, they're rude at you, and you know, admission is taking so long, they ask you so many things, you just, you know, you can't concentrate what you're doing, you're just tired, exhausted, you know, kids already sleepy or people screaming, it's hell. You just sign everything and you just think, oh, when I get the room, because when you try ask what is this, they're getting rude to you, everyone signing, you need everything, for what you need that, they just start yelling at you and you just sign and forget it.
Did you ever see anything wasted while you were in the shelter, such as food or?
People taking home a lot of stuff, food, and I saw they're giving people very limited. They if someone not enough food, they're swearing at them. I told you, bitch, you've been given from food, you want more. But at the end, after donation, I saw everyone packing bags and going.
Who was packing bags?
Staff, they're taking stuff home. Food.
So you're saying that you saw shelter staff taking stuff home with them?
Yeah, remains, but they don't give for women.
Did you ever see the police come into the shelter?
And taking women, yes.
And what were these? Why were they coming to take these women away?
Because they were reported by reporters, and reporters that undercover women who have good treatment, or attacked by someone, or provoked by someone, hit, start fighting with social workers. Social workers start fighting with them and provoke them and call the police. When women try to close the door and tell them leave them alone, and they were banging doors, trying to involve in fight and call the workers, to call the police. They were themselves making fight. They are attacking women, and women try to close the door. They are breaking in and calling police and tell you are not normal, you are abusing your kids. That's why I come in this life. And another women, they're scared, like kind of everyone afraid of each other, they're afraid to talk. It's worse than in jail, 100 times worse.
What do you think your children thought of the shelter? That when they were
The
there?
reason my son became destructive and breakable because he thought it's worse than a refugee camp. He was very mad. He was like, he was terrified. He told Mama it's worse than a refugee school, a Jesuit refugee school in Africa, because you know at least we were free people here. We treated worse than a, in jail. They go following us and every step criticizing. This is impossible life. And he started fighting with me in front of workers and shelter because he told, you brought me to hell. Africa was much better, more freedom. Refugee camp was heaven compared to shelter. Then I went down to look for something, and the woman from the band door, she jumped on me, and I was like, ah! I screamed from pain because I had back injury before long when I come in Africa, and I was in shock. I started screaming, Judy, come! I am mad! I told, I'm hoping that's how she read, how she know. I told Judy, I was injured. I want to go now to hospital. I can't find nothing. I am in severe pain. And when I come back with some painkillers, no, I come back with the prescription, and they took from me prescription, and 5 days did not feel the. And by that time I was assaulted again in the shelter. But 5 days, they told me we are too busy, and it was a painkiller. Then, because I complained that these women assaulted me and another steal my property, they removed that women and I was one in the room. Because one of them, when I was in the hospital first time, steal my property. My handbag with some expensive stuff, because when they called the taxi I tried to look up my stuff, but the another lady was there, was yelling that they should already call taxi and I'm delaying. And I told, listen, I have to look up my stuff, and she told me nobody will touch your stuff. Nobody touch stuff in the shelter, make sure I'll take care of it. Anyway, when I come back my stuff was stolen. Then one lady was removed. After that assault, when lady jumped on me first time, or second time she assaulted me, she was removed.